Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. A really fine idea until you really start thinking about it. By the way, when I went to fact check that this quote really belongs to Gandhi, this was the first Google image result. Like, how the hell do you miss that? And it's in the largest font on this picture. Like, how do you miss this? But I digress. So, the first part of the quote, about living as if you were to die tomorrow. I was actually asked this question at an interview somewhere in the middle of nowhere, Russia. And my response was almost immediate. That I needed three things: some cold beer, a nice girl beside me, and, of course, good quality heavy metal as loud as I like it. Actually, I came to this conclusion a bit earlier, before the interview, when I had the idea for the song. So basically, I decided to write a song titled Beer, Sex and Heavy Metal with the exact same lyrics in the chorus. Devil's music, because who needs to tune a guitar? So, I actually had a riff for a chorus, and it was just a matter of throwing in the words. The riff goes something like this. Never mind. So, I have the lyrics for the chorus, and I have the riff. What could be easier? The riff even has the rests, where I could put the lyrics. So, beer, sex, heavy metal. So, why the beer, sex and heavy metal, if it always was sex, drugs and rock and roll? Well, I think it's time to grow up. The times have changed. The metalhead movement have moved on. Let's be honest, how many of you use drugs? And I mean hard drugs. If you want to count marijuana as a drug, you basically have to count caffeine as well. And here in Latvia, beer is definitely more popular than basically anything. We even have a national holiday that is solely dedicated to eating shish kebab and drinking beer. And it's bigger than Christmas and the New Year's combined. Tea. Probably should have called the song Tea, Self-Loathing, and Occasionally Doing Music. And I really hope I don't have to explain to you why heavy metal. But we've strayed off topic once again. So, the dying part, of course. Even though I had my own ideas, I figured that on Reddit there would be probably a lot of posts on that same topic, like what would you do if you died tomorrow? And I wasn't wrong. What I was wrong about that they weren't really popular. Like this one, for example. If tomorrow was your last day on Earth, what would you do in your last 24 hours? 1 upvote in total. 10 comments. Strongly downvoted one. Break the law in every possible way. Take a shit on your doorstep. And here's the largest. What would you do if today was your last day on Earth? Celebrate the fact that I don't have to wake up early tomorrow. Not be at work, I can tell you that. Get packed up to live on Mars. That's a clever one. Last day on Earth. Get it? Get it? Your female parental guardian. So yeah. Here's the first problem. Many people don't have really good ideas for their last day on Earth. And knowing that, I would be really kind of worried a lot of people would decide to follow that quote. Where have all the good pigs gone? And so, once again about the song. The other main riff, the verse riff, came to me when I was walking down the street at night and there was this light flickering. It was in this, like, hardcore disco mode. Like, if you put some music to it, it would look like it had been synced. And actually tried to dub that right over this light. Actually, I even recorded this on my phone. Here, take a listen to this cringy stuff. Попробовать такой бит, типа boons, 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 boons. So basically, it came down to this. Yeah, and I like the shuffly stuff, because when you think of heavy metal, you don't actually think of these grooves. And since this song has heavy metal in its title, I didn't want to make it like whole full hardcore heavy metal. Because if I use something like this, or yeah, that would have been stupid and boring. I might have as well used metal umlauts, like on every letter in the song title, in the song lyrics, in the band's title, on my website and everywhere. Which is not cool. Like, it's all about moderation. Like with alcohol or other things. For instance, look at the Motorhead. They had perfect opportunity to put metal umlaut on both O's. And they didn't, because moderation. One more cool thing about this, though I've compensated for that with some heavy-ass bass sound instead of a guitar. Let me show you. The problem was here. The chorus riff is in E flat. Fifth mode of harmonic minor, whatever. And if you put the verse riff in E flat, it sounds kinda too light, too airy. When, for instance, I play it in A flat on my 7th string, it sounds much heavier. But if I put the chorus in A, it sounds too heavy, maybe. Well, that actually didn't sound so bad. But the main reason was the vocals. When I sing in E flat, I sing this C. I've sold my soul to the devil. If I went to A, I'd have to sing either this high E, I've sold my soul to the devil, which sounds okay, but I wanted it to sound greedier. But, what shall I do with the airy sounding guitar? Easy, I switch to bass. But I still run it through the guitar chain. So it sounds and works basically like a guitar, but it's a bass. Listen to that. Nice! And I had a second guitar which plays a completely different thing, and also there is a usual bass through the bass chain which plays this part, but on the bass setting. So not that overdriven, but I'm too lazy to switch anything. And there's also a guitar part, playing some fun stuff and acting as a usual guitar. Like something like that. So, the bass guitar as a left guitar, the regular guitar as a right guitar, the bass guitar as a bass guitar, and what's left? Besides the vocals. You guessed it, drums. I asked my friend Nick to record the drums for me. Right now we have Nick laying down the drums. He's basically improvising. Like, he's hearing this for the first time because, well, it's a quick sketch. All is live as usual. So, back on topic. There is the second part of the quote. Learn as if you were to live forever. And if you're at least a little bit like me, we all know where this leads to. We can do it tomorrow! We're gonna live forever, so we can do it tomorrow! Well, yeah, you could argue that the first part of the quote deals with that, but does it really? So, the uncomfortable truth is that we actually don't know what will happen tomorrow. We really might die tomorrow. Hell, I might die in 10 seconds. Well, 10 seconds highly unlikely, but once I get out of the studio and walk home, anything can happen. So I've decided to stop worrying and love the bomb, basically. And my takeaway from this is, I would like to live as if I were to die in 10 seconds. Or as if I'm sure that I'd die tomorrow. And not having any regrets. That's the main idea, basically, here. Make all your choices so that you won't have any regrets. I've done this once. Some time ago I started a YouTube channel which became crazily popular in Russia. But before it became popular, I had a choice, a really simple one. Continue doing this channel or finish university. Basically, right then I asked myself a simple question. Would I regret in 5 years or 10 years that I didn't finish university right now? Well, I wouldn't, because I can always come back to it. Would I regret missing this opportunity? Oh, I was dead sure I will regret it. I would drive myself crazy, thinking what would have happened if I were to continue this. But now I know. And I also thought that if I failed, I would also know. I would know that I failed. But if I didn't take the chance, I would never know. Well, 10 years later and 5.7 or 8 million subscribers later, I have no regrets. And I try to base all my decisions on that same logic as I did then. By the way, the demo is ready. So, lights out, let's do this. What the hell? The wrong song! So, the lights are off, and it actually won't be live. The vocals would be recorded separately because, well, convenience. And also, the demo is available on Patreon. Links in the description. soul to the devil. His name was rock and roll. The sound blew me away, and the price was okay, so I didn't feel cheated at all. I loved the things it gave me, the new, the wild, the drive. I love the raw sound of my heavy guitar. Oh, I can't get enough. Beer, sex, heavy metal. Beer, sex, heavy metal. I've sold my soul to the devil. I don't regret the move. Now that the deed is all done, you can say what you want. I ain't got nothing to prove. Life is about the balance, the rush, the cool, the fire. Someday I will keep the candle right. Up until then, oh, there is gonna be beer, sex, heavy metal. Beer, sex, heavy metal. Well, it was nice chatting to you. What do you think about the demo? Please type in the comments. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our Patreon and support my music and my music videos and stuff, because I want to make it as sustainable as I can. But I will probably never stop doing this, even if you won't. But please subscribe. My name is V. You're awesome. Have a great day. And maybe some beer, sex, and heavy metal on the weekend. Heavy metal! Yeah! Beer, sex, and heavy metal.